Hello there, and welcome back to Sleep Science 360. Tonight, starlight becomes a gentle place for you to rest. Light that left its star before you were born is touching your skin tonight, and you drift a little easier, knowing the universe moves at its own quiet speed. If your room is dim, that's perfect. Your breath slows, your thoughts soften, you breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. There's no need to do anything, just let this quiet glow settle around you. And as you breathe, the science begins to unfold in the soft language of the stars, guiding you into sleep. The starlight around you settles into a softer tone now, as if it recognizes your breath. Its glow drifts through the quiet edges of the room, touching the air with a warmth that feels almost human. You feel the weight of the day loosen in small, gentle pieces. You can rest now. Starlight always begins deeper than the eye can imagine. It forms in the dense heart of a star where hydrogen presses so tightly together that it becomes something new. At around 15 million degrees, the core glows from fusion, though the light born there is trapped for thousands of years before it ever sees open space. We drift with that glow for a moment, letting its journey slow our own thoughts. Inside a star, each photon begins as a scatter, a tiny collision between particles in a sea, so dense it behaves like a slow-moving ocean of fire. These first steps outward are measured not in seconds, but in ages. You can rest now. And as we breathe, we meet the first fact of starlight. The light you see tonight is ancient, sometimes older than entire human civilizations. The surface of your pillow feels cool against your skin. Your breath finds a steady, comfortable rhythm. We ease deeper into the glow, letting its warmth guide the body into settling. Somewhere, the universe exhales through you. The light inside a star moves no faster than a drifting grain of dust. Even though photons can travel at 3,000,000 kilometers per second, the crowded interior slows them to a wandering crawl. They bounce, turn, collide, drifting millimeter by millimeter through plasma. Each deflection feels like a whisper of the star's long memory. You can rest now. When the light finally reaches the star's surface, everything changes. The path ahead opens into the vastness. The photon becomes itself again, fast, clear, immeasurably free. It leaves the star in a single leap, crossing millions of kilometers in just a few seconds. And in that release, something soft unfolds. The starlight becomes a story carried across the dark. We drift with that story. The ceiling above you fades into a quiet field, a place where light moves without sound. Your shoulders loosen, your hands grow warm. You can rest now. Here is another fact wrapped gently. The light of our sun takes just over 8 minutes to reach Earth, but light from distant stars can take hundreds, thousands, or even millions of years. This means the night sky is not a picture, it is a memory. And memories travel differently than moments. They are patient, they wait to be received. They arrive when you are ready. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. As we settle deeper, the light becomes something you feel rather than see. Imagine it drifting across empty space, a place where temperatures fall toward absolute silence, where distances stretch so far that even numbers feel like a soft language failing to describe the dark. You can rest now. Stars shine because gravity holds them tight enough to keep fusion alive. Hydrogen becomes helium at enormous pressures, releasing energy that slowly rises outward. Every star, even the faint ones hiding behind the Milky Way's dust lanes, glows because of that gentle battle between collapse and light. And somewhere in that quiet struggle, warmth is born. We are meant to drift with that warmth. Your breath deepens slightly, your lungs find a slower wave, and the bed pulls you closer towards stillness. You can rest now. Here is another soft truth. Most starlight you see is filtered through cosmic dust, scattering blue light and letting warm reds and golds pass through. That is why sunsets shimmer with color and why starlight often feels ancient and amber-toned. We walk with that color for a moment. It moves like a quiet lantern suspended in the dark. The light does not rush. It does not demand anything from you. It simply arrives gently, like a visitor with all the time in the world. You can rest now. Somewhere beyond our atmosphere, light continues to travel at its perfect, steady pace. Even at 3,000,000 kilometers per second, it takes more than 4 years for a photon from Alpha Centauri, our closest stellar neighbor, to reach Earth. Distances in the universe stretch the way dreams do, softly but endlessly. Your eyelids grow heavier. The muscles around your jaw release. Your breath moves slow and low, as if responding to the pace of the cosmos. You can rest now. And here, as the first 10 minutes of our journey settle into calm, a poetic truth rises to the surface. Light travels fast, but it arrives like a sigh. We drift with that sigh. The room around you fades into a quiet glow. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. As we continue, the boundary between your space and the starlight loosens. The edges blur. The glow becomes a quiet presence, cradling your thoughts. In this early part of the night, your mind is meant to wander not far, just enough to feel the softness between each moment. You can rest now. Here is another simple, gentle fact. Stars emit light across a spectrum wider than our eyes can see, from ultraviolet to infrared. What we experience as visible starlight is only a thin ribbon of a much deeper radiance, a quiet reminder that most beauty in the universe is unseen, yet still felt. We drift with that unseen glow. Your breathing steadies into a longer rhythm. Your body begins to understand that nothing is expected of it. You can rest now. Some of the photons arriving at Earth tonight began their journey when early humans first painted on cave walls. Others started traveling long before our species even existed. Starlight does not hurry, and it never forgets its path. A reflective whisper moves through this moment. In the quiet between stars, you are remembered. We stay with that thought for a breath or two, letting it settle, then fade. You can rest now. The first warm glow that reaches your eyes on a calm night is a tapestry of distances and times woven together. Some light is young, just minutes old. Some is older than continents. Some is older than the oceans that shaped our world. And yet, all of it arrives here now, meeting you exactly where you are, on a bed in a quiet room, with your breath easing into a slower wave. You can rest now. The stars do not ask you to stay awake. They do not ask you to understand everything. They simply shine and let their warmth guide you towards stillness. And somewhere, far beyond our night sky, light continues its patient drift, shimmering through the dark, carrying the soft history of the universe. You breathe softly, and the universe exhales through you. This is the first warm glow, the gentle beginning of starlight, and we drift with it. We drift, now carried gently by the soft momentum of the starlight that began its life in the warm glow behind us. The night around us stretches open, becoming a wide and quiet field where light moves without effort. There is no need to reach for anything here. The universe unfolds softly when we allow it to. It's okay to drift. As we settle deeper, the dark between stars becomes a kind of canvas. Each thread of light crossing it feels deliberate, slow, and patient. Starlight travels through space in straight, perfect lines, unless something bends those lines like gravity or clouds of cosmic dust. For every single second that passes, light moves 3,000,000 kilometers. Yet the feeling it brings is never fast. It arrives as a hush. It's okay to drift. In the vast interstellar regions, light can cross trillions of kilometers without touching anything at all. Space is so empty that a photon might pass through an entire galaxy without colliding with a single particle. And yet within this emptiness, there is a profound fullness, a quiet that carries its own warmth. We float with that warmth, now letting it soften the edges of thought. It's okay to drift. A faint glow appears ahead, the scattered light of a distant nebula. Hydrogen clouds stretch for light years, thin as breath, but luminous in the presence of nearby stars. These beautiful formations exist at densities too delicate for human senses, often just a few atoms per cubic meter. Yet across huge distances, they become glowing rivers of color, soft pinks, muted violets, pale blues. It's okay to drift. Inside these clouds, stars are born. Gravity gathers dust gas and drifting molecules, pulling them inward over millions of years. Heat rises slowly. The heart of the forming star grows bright, then brighter still, until fusion ignites. A new star appears its light, spilling out into the dark like a slow breath. It's okay to drift. Here is a gentle truth wrapped in warmth. A newborn star can shine for millions of years before its light first escapes its cradle of dust. The universe moves in timescales so long that even numbers seem to exhale. We move past this cradle, now following a single golden beam as it slips through a thin veil of gas. It drifts in a nearly straight path, scattering ever so slightly as dust grains redirect its color. This scattering removes the bluer wavelengths, allowing rich reds and warm ambers to pass more easily. This is why starlight from faraway places feels warmer, older, softer. It's okay to drift. Above us, the light widens into a gentle halo. It paints the emptiness in delicate strokes, revealing textures of space that are invisible without the help of time. The silence grows deeper. Your breath slows with it. You feel the body sinking into the bed, loosening its hold on the day. It's okay to drift. Starlight carries information from its star temperature chemical composition motion. Through spectroscopy, we can decode these details simply by spreading the light into its colors. Thin, dark lines appear where atoms inside the star absorbed specific wavelengths. Each element leaves its own signature. This means we can read stars without ever touching them. It's okay to drift. A distant cluster comes into view. Dozens of stars shining together, gravitationally bound, drifting slowly as a family across the galaxy. Some of these stars are hot and bright, their surfaces glowing near 2,000,000 degrees. Others are cooler, redder, resting near 3000 degrees at the surface. Color becomes a quiet gradient of temperature. Blue for intensity, red for gentleness, gold for the kind of warmth that feels like home. It's okay to drift. The deeper we move, the more the night opens. Interstellar space reveals subtle shifts in density pockets of dust, invisible magnetic fields, faint traces of cosmic rays. Yet starlight glides through all of this effortlessly. It does not hurry, it does not fade, it simply continues. We follow it breath, aligned to its pace. It's okay to drift. A soft arc of light bends in front of us. This is gravitational lensing, where the mass of a galaxy curves space itself, bending the path of light behind it. The distant galaxy's shape becomes distorted, elongated, like a watercolor smear across the dark. And still, the photon continues adapting, without resistance. Acceptance, written into its very nature. It's okay to drift. A quote drifts across the silence, like a thread of silver. Every ray of starlight is a letter sent long before we learn to read. We let the thoughts settle slowly, like dust falling through a still room. We continue deeper. The glow fades for a moment as cosmic dust thickens. Dust, grains small as smoke. Particles gather in patches that dim the light passing through them. These grains are made from the remnants of older stars, the cooled ashes of supernovae and dying giants. They drift for millions of years, merging and breaking apart, eventually becoming the seeds of new planets. It's okay to drift. This place feels ancient, but not empty. It is the quiet workshop of the universe, where starlight weaves between the raw materials of future worlds. And somehow, this vastness brings the mind into a deeper calm. The wideness gives everything room to settle. It's okay to drift. The photon we follow slips through the final thickness of dust. It emerges on the other side, brighter, sharper, clearer, the way a thought feels after it passes through stillness. Ahead lies open space again, stretching for light years without interruption. Your breath follows that openness. It's okay to drift. Here is another soft fact. Light loses intensity with distance because it spreads out, not because it slows or grows weak. Even after traveling millions of years, a photon still carries the same energy it had when it left its star. Only the distance changes the way we feel it. It's okay to drift. As we move further, the light begins to touch small dust lanes and faint planetary systems drifting quietly through the dark. Some worlds are barren, frozen for billions of years. Others glow with reflected starlight, tiny mirrors catching warmth from faraway suns. Every world, every moon, every drifting stone is shaped in part by light. It's okay to drift. A reflective line rises like a soft glimmer across the quiet horizon. In the quiet between stars, you are remembered. It rests for a moment, then dissolves back into the calm. We drift past a thin filament of gas, the shock wave of an ancient supernova. Here, starlight scatters wildly, creating soft rainbow halos that shimmer like breath on glass. The light shifts color as density changes, transforming from gold to rose to faint blue. Color becomes movement. Movement becomes calm. It's okay to drift. We glide further, settling deeper into the dim. The body feels heavier, now anchored in warmth. The breath lengthens into slow, steady waves. Thoughts grow lighter, drifting like the particles that scatter the stars. It's okay to drift. The universe grows quieter the deeper we go. Dust thins, gas fades, the glow becomes clear once more. The photon we follow continues without hesitation, untouched, across a widening sea. It may travel for tens of thousands of years before meeting anything again, and yet its path is as steady as a heartbeat. It's okay to drift. Starlight is persistence made visible. It carries its birthplace inside it. Memories of heat, motion, gravity. It carries the history of stars across distances so large that even imagination slows to follow. And still, the light continues. Calm, certain, endlessly patient. It's okay to drift. We drift with it now, quiet and unhurried. The night deepens, the glow softens, your breath moves in long, low waves. Starlight stretches ahead like a path without edges, and together we follow it into the gentle dark. It moves through the dark with a calm older than galaxies. Light once freed from the surface of a star becomes a traveler without weight, a thread woven from memory rather than matter. It carries the warmth of its birthplace in its wavelength, holding the quiet imprint of the star that released it. It's okay to drift. Out here, far from any world, light slips through the vacuum in perfect silence. Its journey is straight and uninterrupted, a soft line across an endless canvas. Every second, it travels 3,000,000 kilometers a distance. So large, it becomes gentle when spoken slowly. It's okay to drift. The dark between stars is not a void, but a vast field of stillness. In that stillness, light becomes its own language, a way for the universe to speak across ages. A photon holds the temperature of its star in its color-warm stars. Paint the photon gold. Hotter stars send it out in sapphire tones, and cool stars give it a soft red glow. Color is memory. Memory moves with it. It's okay to drift. Ahead lies a thin stream of dust, suspended through interstellar space. The photon enters it without hesitation, drifting through grains no larger than smoke. These particles dim some of its wavelengths, scattering blues first, and letting warmer tones pass through. This is why distant starlight reaches us in shades of amber and rose. The dust has sifted the beam, gently leaving warmth behind. It's okay to drift. Even as dust changes, its color light does not resist. It accepts the shift, the way a river accepts a bend. The photon that once shone white now travels as a deeper hue, carrying a new memory. The touch of dust, the softness of distance, the shape of its journey, written into its tone. It's okay to drift. Beyond the dust, silence expands again. Light moves into a region where nothing interrupts its path for trillions of kilometers. Here the dark has a quiet presence, a calm, so full it feels like a slow breath. Light glides through it effortlessly. Nothing slows it, nothing pulls at it. It's okay to drift. A faint glow rises at the edge of vision, an old supernova remnant drifting through the dark. Clouds of oxygen, carbon, and neon spread like watercolor mist. These elements scatter the photon into soft halos, bending it into faint arcs of color. Reds, pulse, blues, shimmer, violets fade. Each stroke is delicate, almost weightless. It's okay to drift. Beyond these remnants lies the silent core of the old explosion, where heavier elements were forged in a moment of intense brightness. Supernovae shine more fiercely in a few days than the sun will across 10 billion years. Their memory lingers in the dust they leave behind, dust that will one day help form planets. This dust drifts for millions of years before becoming part of something new. The photon passes through it, all unchanged in purpose. It's okay to drift. A poetic line drifts quietly through the dark, soft as starlight itself. Light is the oldest storyteller the universe remembers. The photon moves on. Far ahead, a wide disk of gas surrounds a young forming star. This protoplanetary ring glows in pale gold where starlight strikes its surface. Dust grains collide gently, gathering into clumps that may one day become moons or continents or oceans. Light entering this region scatters into every direction, its path broken into gentle shards of brightness. Some photons remain trapped for centuries. Some slip through in minutes, and some, like the one we follow, continue outward, steady and calm. It's okay to drift. Inside the disk, colors change again. Reddish tones dominate, softening the beam's edge. But once the photon emerges beyond the ring, clarity returns, brightness steadies, wavelength sharpens, memory remains. It's okay to drift. As it moves forward, gravity from distant stars tugs faintly at its path. Even from quadrillions of kilometers away, a star's mass bends space just enough to nudge light's direction. The curve is small, a whisper, a suggestion. But across long distances, it becomes part of the photon's story. It's okay to drift. Light does not fight this bending. It follows the curve naturally, the way wind shapes tall grass. Its journey becomes a record of everything. It has passed the dust that warmed it, the stars that bent it, the clouds that tinted it, memory written without ink. It's okay to drift. Ahead now lies the dim outskirts of a spiral galaxy where stars thin into scattered lanterns. The galaxy rotates slowly, completing one turn every 230 million years. Light crosses this silent edge without being drawn into its motion. It glides past gently, a quiet visitor, passing through a cradle of drifting suns. It's okay to drift. Far from the bright center, the photon enters a region of cold hydrogen atoms, floating alone in vast emptiness. The gas is too thin to stop it, too sparse to dim it, yet present enough to leave the faintest mark. A soft modulation in color, a slight alteration in tone, a subtle shift in brightness, and still the photon continues. Calm, unhurried, true. It's okay to drift. The photon continues through the dark, weaving its way past the thin outskirts of the galaxy. Here, stars are fewer, drifting in slow arcs that take millions of years to complete. The silence deepens as the density of matter falls away. It's okay to drift. Light glides through this stillness without resistance. The vacuum offers no friction, no texture, no boundary. It moves as if guided by a calm that has existed since the earliest moments of time. Every wavelength remains steady, carrying the soft record of its origin. It's okay to drift. In the far distance, the faint glow of ionized hydrogen creates soft ribbons of red. These emissions form when energetic starlight nudges electrons into higher states, then watches them fall back, releasing gentle color. Each ribbon pulses with a quiet rhythm, almost like a breath the universe forgot it was holding. It's okay to drift. The photon slides through these glowing threads, unaltered, but surrounded by their warmth. Color spills around it like watercolor in slow motion. H-alpha light, shining at 656 nanometers, paints the dark in muted crimson. Other wavelengths layer over it. Faint greens, faint violets, each adding a whisper to the overall glow. It's okay to drift. Beyond these threads lies a wide, cold expanse. Here, the darkness feels deeper, smoother, as though space itself has gone to rest. Even cosmic rays grow sparse. Only the steady hum of the universe's background, radiation, remains stretching across all directions at a chilly 2.7 Kelvin. Light travels through this ancient echo, untouched by its age. It's okay to drift. A distant pulsar begins to sweep its beams through the dark. Though the photon cannot hear the space around it, vibrates with the faint radio pulses emitted every fraction of a second. These neutron stars spin rapidly, sometimes hundreds of times per second, emitting beams that sweep like cosmic lighthouses. The rhythm forms a low, slow cadence, a heartbeat written in radiation. It's okay to drift. Light passes through this region without slowing. The pulses do not alter its path. They simply exist beside it, threads of energy, crossing threads. The photon holds its own steady rhythm, pure, straight, calm. It's okay to drift. As it moves onward, the dark begins to shift again. Not brighter, not busier, just textured. Sparse atoms scatter invisible ultraviolet light, producing the faintest glimmer as they recombine. Each tiny flicker lasts milliseconds, then dissolves into the quiet. The photon travels through this field of gentle sparks like a silent witness. It's okay to drift. A reflective line moves softly across the dark, as if carried by the passing glow. In the quiet between stars, you are remembered. Then it fades, leaving the path unchanged. Ahead, gravity from a dormant black hole curves space with invisible hands. The photon does not feel the pull, yet its path bends smoothly around the distortion. Not a sharp curve, not a twist, just a slow, graceful arc guided by the shape of space-time. This bending is slight, measured in tiny fractions of a degree, but across thousands of light years, it becomes a meaningful part of light's memory. It's okay to drift. Once it passes beyond the black hole's influence, the photon returns to a straight path. Its wavelength remains unchanged. Its brightness remains pure. Only its direction has shifted, a subtle, quiet mark of where it once passed. It's okay to drift. The deeper it travels, the more the universe feels like a place shaped by soft vibrations. Cosmic magnetic fields twist faint spirals in the charged particles that float between stars. These spirals create radio murmurs so low they cannot be heard, but their presence forms a kind of quiet cosmic breath. Light moves through these murmurs like a thread through a loom. It's okay to drift. Far ahead, the halo of a giant star cluster rises like a pale lantern. Tens of thousands of stars shine together here, their combined glow forming a soft sphere of light. Photons pour outward in all directions, weaving through the vast network of gravity that binds the cluster. The beam we follow threads between them, one small traveler gliding past a multitude of ancient suns. It's okay to drift. Above us, The light widens into a gentle halo. It paints the emptiness in delicate strokes, revealing textures of space that are invisible without the help of time. The silence grows deeper. Your breath slows with it. You feel the body sinking into the bed, loosening its hold on the day. It's okay to drift. It's okay to drift. Light itself holds no intention, yet it gathers these impressions naturally. Its memory becomes a quiet archive of everything it has touched. Stars, dust, gravity, silence. An entire journey encoded in one thin beam. It's okay to drift. As it moves through the last stretch of this ancient dark, the nature of the space around it begins to shift. Subtle wave-like echoes ripple through the void pressure from distant supernova shock fronts, magnetic tremors, and thermal fluctuations that drift like sound would if sound could travel here. The photon does not hear them, but the universe begins to feel faintly vibrational, like a low hum under everything. It's okay to drift, and light continues unhurried, unchanged in its purpose. A single thread drifting through a cosmic silence, older than memory, carrying its quiet story forward, toward whatever world, whatever atmosphere, whatever resting place awaits it across the long night of space. It moves as though nothing can unsettle it. It moves as though silence welcomes it home. It moves the way calm breath moves through the body, steady, soft, and sure. It's okay to drift. It moves through a widening quiet, entering a region where the echoes of ancient stars drift through the dark like faint, lingering tones. This part of the cosmos holds the memory of explosions. Long faded the residual breath of light that once filled entire galaxies with brilliance. Now, the remnants settle into stillness, leaving only soft background murmurs that shape the silence around them. It's okay to drift. Light travels through these murmurs without effort. Its path remains clean and straight, yet something subtle shifts in the airless deep, a kind of low resonance, as though the universe hums gently beneath everything. Though no sound exists here, the space itself carries patterns, slow vibrations in the fabric of radiation and gravity. Light passes through them like a note sliding across string. It's okay to drift. The radiation fields that fill this region are remnants of colossal events: supernova, shock waves, gamma ray bursts, stellar winds that once roared across vast distances. Now they are nothing more than soft pressure, diffuse and patient. A photon moving through these fields might shift slightly in energy, but the change is faint. A whisper of temperature, a barely measurable nudge. It's okay to drift. A gentle truth emerges, now wrapped in cosmic calm. A supernova's afterglow can continue, radiating for thousands of years, slowly fading into the background of the galaxy. Even in death, a star leaves a memory of light behind. It's okay to drift. Light drifts through one such afterglow, the thin, expanding shell of an explosion that occurred centuries ago. Ionized gases shimmer in reds and greens, though too faint for human eyes to see without aid. These colors pulse with the rhythm of recombining electrons, a cosmic dance of particles returning to their quiet states. The photon passes through the glowing edge, like a traveler moving through a mist, emerging softer but not dimmer. It's okay to drift. As it moves onward, gravity from a nearby star cluster rises like a gentle slope beneath space-time. Light curves along it, almost imperceptibly, bending into a new direction. The change is smooth, elegant part of the natural architecture of the universe. This gravitational shaping happens constantly everywhere, sculpting the paths of photons with invisible hands. It's okay to drift. Beyond the cluster, The photon enters the galaxy's thick halo, a region filled with old stars and streams of ancient debris from long-lost stellar families. These wandering streams are remnants of dwarf galaxies absorbed by larger ones. Their stars drift like quiet exiles, circling the galactic center over billions of years. Light weaves between them, gathering their faint presence into its memory. It's okay to drift. A quote moves through the silence, delicate as distant starlight. Every beam is a bridge between what was and what will be. The photon glides on. Now, the galaxy falls behind. Darkness becomes deeper, cooler, stretching in all directions. Here, intergalactic space opens like a vast ocean, nearly empty, almost timeless. The photon travels for millions of years without encountering anything more substantial than a lonely atom drifting in the void. It's okay to drift. The density here is so low that entire cubic meters of space may contain only a handful of particles. Yet even this emptiness carries traces of old collisions, ancient gamma-ray flashes, faint neutrino flows that slide through matter without pause. Light moves beside these silent travelers, unaffected, sharing the path without touching it. It's okay to drift. Occasionally, a faint ripple passes through the fabric of space-time, a gravitational wave born from the distant merging of black holes or neutron stars. The photon feels nothing but the space it moves through stretches and settles like a slow cosmic breath. These waves can shift its timing by tiny amounts, barely detectable, yet part of its long record nonetheless. It's okay to drift. Ahead, a ghostly trail of cosmic dust drifts between galaxies. These particles, remnants of shattered planets and dead stars, form thin, wandering bridges, linking clusters of galaxies across unimaginable distances. The dust dims the photon slightly, scattering a fraction of its wavelength into faint halos. The core beam remains clear, anchored in its original light. It's okay to drift. The photon continues passing, close to a pair of massive galaxies, locked in a slow gravitational embrace. Their combined mass bends light around them, turning the beam into an arc that wraps gently around the collision. Galaxy mergers happen over hundreds of millions of years, their stars weaving together as gravity sculpts new forms. Light glides along the curve with ease, accepting the new direction without resistance. It's okay to drift. The merged halos glow faintly in ultraviolet and soft X-rays, the signature of gas heated by the collision. These wavelengths are invisible to human eyes, but they color the environment with energy that light passes through like wind through tall grass. A slight shift occurs, a memory of heat printed into the photon's journey. It's okay to drift. Beyond the merging galaxies, light enters a region where clusters form vast interconnected structures. The cosmic web stretching across billions of light years. Its filaments glow faintly with scattered starlight and the heated gas between galaxies. The photon travels along one such filament, its path lit by the distant shimmer of galaxies arranged like pearls on a thread. It's okay to drift. The cosmic web is not solid yet. Its shape defines the architecture of the universe. Galaxies grow where filaments intersect. Voids form where matter is sparse. And through it all, light flows endlessly, a messenger moving across the skeleton of creation. It's okay to drift. A reflective line rises softly. In the quiet between stars, you are remembered. Then the dark gathers around the photon once more. It enters a wide void, a region where galaxies are absent, where silence deepens into something almost absolute. The photon crosses this void for ages, drifting without interruption, without boundary, without hurry. It's okay to drift. Inside, the void light becomes even more significant. Its presence, however small, becomes a kind of song, a faint, delicate thread of energy moving through a canyon of stillness. Though it makes no sound, the emptiness resonates with its passage. It's okay to drift. Here, time stretches, distances blur. Light moves at full speed, but experience slows around it, as if the universe itself has entered a gentler rhythm. The photon becomes part of that stillness, a single, unwavering glow cutting across the long silence. It's okay to drift, and as it continues, the universe carries it forward into deeper, calm, older darkness, and the soft, endless memory of everything that has ever shone. It moves through a darkness older than any star still shining. The photon drifts into a region where even the nearest galaxies shimmer like pale dust pressed against the fabric of the horizon. Here, the universe feels wide and slow, as though time itself has become a long exhale stretching across billions of years. It's okay to drift. The void around it is deep and nearly perfect, with only the faintest scatter of matter crossing its path. This emptiness is not absence, it is structure, a silence sculpted by the long expansion of the cosmos. As space stretches, wavelengths grow gently, longer shifting starlight toward the red. This cosmic redshift becomes another memory etched into the photon, a quiet marker of distance traveled. It's okay to drift. In this part of the universe, light rarely meets resistance. It glides without interruption, untouched, for millions of light years, its energy unwavering. But the fabric of space through which it moves is not still. It expands slowly, steadily, creating a soft tension that pulls the photon's wavelength toward a deeper hue. This is not decay. It is a stretching, a gentle lengthening, like breath passing through open air. It's okay to drift. Invisible particles drift across the void. Neutrinos created in the fiery cores of stars fly through everything. Matter, dust, entire planets, passing through the universe almost as freely as thought. The photon moves beside them, though neither disturbs the other. It's okay to drift. A faint mist appears far ahead, not clouds, but the distant light of galaxies so far away that their shapes blur into soft halos. These halos shimmer with the combined glow of billions of stars, each one a world of its own history and quiet fire. The photon moves toward this distant shimmer, not drawn by force, but simply sharing the direction of its original release. It's okay to drift. In this part of the universe, light rarely meets resistance. It glides without interruption, untouched, for millions of light years, its energy unwavering. But the fabric of space through which it moves is not still. It expands slowly, steadily, creating a soft tension that pulls the photon's wavelength toward a deeper hue. This is not decay. It is a stretching, a gentle lengthening, like breath passing through open air. It's okay to drift. It's okay to drift. As it draws nearer, individual galaxies begin to separate from the haze. Their halos glow in faint blues, pale golds, soft white spirals unfurling from dark centers. Some rotate quickly, completing a turn in just a few 100 million years. Others move with slower grace, taking a full billion years to sweep their arms through the silent dark. Each rotation is a long gesture, a slow dance across cosmic time. The photon passes the cluster's edge, drifting through its outermost stars. It's okay to drift. Between galaxies within the cluster lies intergalactic plasma, thin, hot gas, heated to millions of degrees by collisions between clusters. Though this gas is fierce in temperature, it is so diffuse that the photon moves through it unchanged. Only a subtle pressure of scattered X-rays surrounds its path, a soft residue of long-ago collisions. It's okay to drift. Here, faint radio signals ripple across space. They come from ancient galaxies whose massive black holes send jets of plasma tens of thousands of light years long. These jets twist magnetic fields around them, creating low-frequency murmurs that vibrate through the surrounding void. The photon glides through these murmurs, feeling no disturbance, but the space around it hums with quiet structure. It's okay to drift. A poetic thought slips across the silence, like a memory unfolding. Light carries the moments stars choose to remember. And then, the photon continues onward. As it leaves the cluster, darkness opens once more into immense emptiness. Now, its journey stretches into a region almost completely silent, a cosmic desert where only thin wisps of gas mark the presence of matter. The temperature drops toward the faint glow of the cosmic background, just 2.7 Kelvin, a near-frozen whisper of the early universe. It drifts through this coldness with calm certainty. It's okay to drift. Far ahead, the large-scale structure of the cosmos stretches like an unseen network. Filaments of matter thread across billions of light years, forming bridges between clusters. These filaments glow weakly lit by sparse galaxies and diffuse ultraviolet light. The photon slips along one of these filaments, letting their faint radiation paint the slightest highlight across its path. It's okay to drift. Sometimes, the gravitational pull of dark matter bends the fabric gently. Though invisible dark matter shapes the universe with quiet dominance, making up most of the mass between galaxies. Its presence pulls subtly on passing light, shifting direction by fractions too small to feel, but too real to ignore. The photon curves around these invisible structures, like wind brushing around unseen cliffs. It's okay to drift. Now the photon approaches a group of galaxies, beginning a slow interaction. Their halos overlap, blending into one another, like merging ripples on still water. Stars pass by at immense distances, but feel each other's gravity. Gas clouds collide softly, heating the intergalactic medium. Light passes through this dance, with patience gathering impressions of new shapes and evolving brightness. It's okay to drift. A poetic thought slips across the silence, like a memory unfolding. Light carries the moments stars choose to remember. As it leaves the merging group, a reflective whisper rises in the dark. In the quiet between stars, you are remembered. The photon continues, carrying the silence with it. Space grows darker again, wider, almost immeasurable. Galaxies become distant, sparks each one a tiny bead of brightness. Some of their light has traveled for billions of years, stretched thin by cosmic expansion. The photon moves through this thinning universe, effortlessly steady, as breath-light as memory. It's okay to drift. Ahead, a faint ripple in the fabric of space passes through the void. This ripple is a gravitational wave, the echo of two neutron stars spiraling together in a distant galaxy long ago. It does not move the photon directly, but the space-time through which the photon passes stretches like a soft pulse. The beam continues unfazed. It's okay to drift. The void becomes colder, quieter. Nothing interrupts its journey now. Light travels onward, unhurried, unchanged, in purpose, carrying its long echo through the oldest night the universe knows. It drifts the way. Breath drifts through a resting body, slow, certain, gentle. It's okay to drift, and somewhere far ahead the darkness begins to pale again, opening toward regions where new galaxies rise like distant embers. The photon continues toward them, ancient and unwavering, a thread of memory moving through infinite calm. It moves into a region where the darkness thins into a soft gray, not because the universe grows brighter, but because countless distant galaxies begin to weave their light together. The photon enters this quiet haze, like a traveler stepping into the faint hum of a vast and ancient choir. It's okay to drift. Here, the glow is almost imperceptible, the combined shimmer of galaxies too far away for their individual shapes to remain distinct. Their light blends into one diffuse whisper, a background glow that carries the memory of billions of stars. Each spark has traveled for ages, stretched by cosmic expansion, softened by distance, until it becomes part of this gentle radiance. It's okay to drift. The photon glides through this haze without disturbing it. Its path remains true, while the faint glow around it rises and falls like a slow, distant pulse. Galaxies at these distances shine with the dimness of ancient embers. Their light left home when the universe was a fraction of its current age. Across billions of years, these beams have thinned into silk threads of illumination woven through the void. It's okay to drift. Occasionally, the photon passes near a faint galaxy cluster. Clusters so distant appear not as spirals or ellipses, but as small blurred knots of warmth. Some of these clusters contain thousands of galaxies, each one filled with hundreds of billions of stars. Yet from here, they seem delicate, quiet islands, floating in a vast, cool sea. It's okay to drift. A soft truth emerges. Light from distant galaxies arrives stretched into redder wavelengths, a gentle signature of the universe's expansion. The farther the source, the deeper the redshift. The photon feels this same, stretching its own wavelength, lengthening as the darkness broadens behind it. It's okay to drift. As it moves onward, the haze thins again. Galaxies spread out into faint sparks, each separated by millions of light years. Their collective glow becomes a delicate whisper beneath the deeper silence of the intergalactic night. The photon glides through this changing landscape, steady and unburdened. It's okay to drift. The universe grows remarkably quiet here. Only the cold hum of the cosmic background radiation remains a soft, ancient glow from 13.8 billion years ago, stretched into gentle microwaves. This relic whisper fills all of space, equally a uniform echo from the birth of light itself. The photon moves through this echo without interruption, carrying its own memory forward. It's okay to drift. Far in the distance, a giant elliptical galaxy appears like a dim, pale ember. These galaxies are enormous, some reaching 1,000,000 light years across. Their stars orbit in slow, random paths, like soft, drifting snow caught in a quiet swirl. The photon brushes the outer halo of one such galaxy, passing through a field of old stars dimmed by age. It's okay to drift. The halo contains globular clusters, each holding tens of thousands of ancient stars. They shine in warm gold and cool, white arranged like beads of light suspended in the dark. A few photons from these clusters cross paths with ours flowing beside it briefly, before continuing on their own long journeys. The faint overlap of their glow creates a soft, transient harmony in the darkness. It's okay to drift. A quote drifts across the quiet, now subtle as dust. Light remembers the roads, even when the roads have vanished, and the photon continues. Beyond the elliptical galaxy lies a thin river of gas, a tenuous bridge linking two distant clusters. These cosmic filaments form the skeleton of the universe, immense strands shaped by dark matter gravity and time. The gas within them is warm, but sparse its atoms, drifting slowly, leaving small fingerprints on passing beams. The photon crosses the filament smoothly, collecting the faintest modulation in color. It's okay to drift. From here, the universe opens into a massive cosmic void. Voids are vast bubbles where galaxies are few, sometimes spanning hundreds of millions of light years across. Inside them, darkness grows deeper, smoother, uninterrupted. Light, traveling through a void, experiences the most peaceful passage in the cosmos. No dust, no stars, no plasma, just silence and distance. It's okay to drift. In the center of the void, starlight from distant edges becomes faint, textured bands, shimmering like distant choruses, barely reaching the ear. Though the photon carries no sound, the void itself resonates with a quiet, low-level structure, gravity's faint, slow breathing. The beam glides through this gravitational stillness, calm as a falling feather. It's okay to drift. As it exits, the void brightness rises again. Galaxies gather along the far boundary, forming a wall of light and gravity. These cosmic walls stretch for hundreds of millions of light years, vast sheets and filaments that define the shape of the observable universe. The photon approaches one such wall, caught briefly in the glow of billions of suns shining together. It's okay to drift. Between these galaxies, hot gas forms a shimmering medium that radiates soft X-rays. Though thin, this gas reaches temperatures of tens of millions of degrees, heated by collisions of galaxy clusters. The photon slips between these particles untouched. X-ray murmurs ripple around it, like heat shimmering off distant stone. It's okay to drift. The beam passes through a small galactic group, orbiting the edge of the wall. A few spiral galaxies rotate gracefully, arms trailing through intergalactic dust. Elliptical galaxies glow like quiet embers. Dwarfs flicker softly, their light uneven but persistent. The photon threads between them with ease, following the unseen curvature of space. It's okay to drift. A reflective whisper returns gentle and familiar. In the quiet between stars, you are remembered. And still it travels. Beyond the group lies another stretch of space, shaped by dark matter. Invisible halos carve influence across the void, bending paths, shifting brightness, sculpting trajectories. The photon moves through these regions as though gliding over soft hills carved into space-time. It feels no resistance, only the slightest arcs like smooth breaths guiding its direction forward. It's okay to drift. Ahead now is the faint glow of a distant star-forming galaxy. Ultraviolet light spills from clusters of young stars, absorbed and re-emitted as warm infrared by dust clouds. This galaxy pulses gently in multiple wavelengths. Its glow layered like a quiet chord, played on cosmic strings. The photon drifts toward this soft chord, weaving through the haze of its outer halo. It's okay to drift. The outskirts contain cold hydrogen clouds, raw material for future stars. When photons pass through these clouds, they leave small absorption marks at specific wavelengths, signatures that astronomers can decode to read the gas's composition and motion. Our photon gathers one such mark, now a gentle dip in its spectrum. Another memory added, without weight. It's okay to drift. The galaxy recedes behind it. The universe grows dark and open once more. Nothing tugs, nothing dims. Light travels on ancient and patient, a thin whisper moving through cosmic time. It's okay to drift. Toward the edge of this region, the glow of the distant universe stretches again into a faint horizon, a soft boundary where starlight becomes memory and memory becomes a single steady beam continuing across the oldest night. It drifts forward, unbroken, a quiet echo of everything that has ever shone. It's okay to drift. The universe stretches into a softer darkness, now a darkness that carries the faint memory of when the first stars began to rise. The photon drifts into this ancient region where the echoes of cosmic dawn linger like low notes held across unimaginable time. Here the silence feels older, deeper, shaped by the birth of light itself. It's okay to drift. Before stars existed, the universe was dim, filled with cooling hydrogen gas spread across vast distances. For nearly 3,800,000 years after the Big Bang, light could not travel freely. Particles were too tightly bound, scattering photons in every direction. Only when the universe had expanded and cooled enough did atoms form, allowing the first soft glow to escape. Cosmic dawn had begun its long approach. It's okay to drift. The photon now passes through a region touched by that early glow. This radiation, the cosmic microwave background, gently bathes the universe at 2.7 Kelvin, a faint whisper of the first moment light could move unobstructed. Though stretched into microwaves by billions of years of expansion, its memory remains intact. It forms a quiet backdrop through which all other light travels. It's okay to drift. As the photon glides forward, thin streams of neutral hydrogen drift across its path. These atoms formed during the universe's earliest cooling and filled the cosmos long before the first stars ignited. They absorb a narrow slice of starlight, a signature at 21 centimeters, a wavelength astronomers use to trace the structure of early cosmic gas. The photon collects the faintest fingerprint of these atoms as it passes. It's okay to drift. Far ahead, a dim region begins to shimmer. This shimmer is not starlight, but the lingering glow of early galaxies forming for the first time. Their light is stretched almost beyond visibility, deep reds fading into infrared, drifting into wavelengths the human eye cannot see. Yet the photon senses the richness of these ancient embers. It's okay to drift. These early galaxies were small compared to modern spirals, often just a few thousand light years across. Their stars burned hot and blue, formed from pristine hydrogen, untouched by heavier elements. Some of these first stars, known as population 3 stars, may have reached 100 times the mass of the sun, shining intensely for only a few million years before collapsing or exploding. The photon glides through the shadow of their long faded brilliance. It's okay to drift. A soft quote drifts across the silence, fragile as starlight from the earliest ages. The first stars did not rise into darkness. They created the first dawn. and the universe exhales around the photon. As it travels deeper into this region, the dark takes on a subtle texture. Not light, not sound, but the quiet impression of space beginning to glow for the first time in cosmic history. Ionized bubbles formed around the earliest stars, pockets of reionized gas expanding slowly outward. These bubbles grew over hundreds of millions of years, merging until the universe became transparent once more. The photon floats through the remnants of these ancient boundaries. It's okay to drift. In the haze of this early era, galaxies gathered in small clusters, drawn together by the invisible scaffolding of dark matter. Their combined light, though faint, illuminated the cosmic web's first filaments, thin lines stretching across space, forming the skeleton upon which all future galaxies would grow. The photon brushes the quiet edges of these early structures, as if passing through the outlines of an ancient, unfinished map. It's okay to drift. When the universe was about 1 billion years old, star formation surged, galaxies brightened, gas flowed into their centers, fueling massive bursts of stellar birth. Light poured outward into the expanding, dark-filling space with the first steady glow. The photon senses the long echo of these events. Tiny changes in density and temperature woven into its path. It's okay to drift. Now, as it moves through the lingering field of cosmic dawn, the universe around it feels both young and impossibly old. What began as faint fire in a cooling void transformed into a cosmos, alive with stars, galaxies, and drifting light. The photon carries this story without effort, a single beam touched by the earliest chapters of cosmic illumination. It's okay to drift. Ahead, the glow of the early universe begins to fade into the deeper void beyond. The ancient regions fall behind, leaving the photon in a calm expanse shaped by billions of years of expansion. The silence grows smoother, almost velvety. This transition marks the end of the first great age of light and the beginning of its long journey toward the modern universe. The photon follows that path, steady and gentle. It's okay to drift. The photon drifts farther from the lingering glow of early galaxies, entering a smoother, deeper stretch of space. Here, expansion has stretched the ancient light into long, gentle waves. The universe feels like a wide and silent breath, expanding slowly through time. It's okay to drift. The earliest stars have all faded now. What remains of them is written into the cosmic background, printed across space-time like faint fingerprints. Subtle fluctuations in that background temperature, shifts no larger than 1 part in 100,000, reveal where matter once gathered, forming the first seeds of galaxies. The photon glides through these temperature ripples, brushing past their soft imprints. It's okay to drift. Dark matter halos grow thicker in this region, sculpting the cosmic web with invisible pressure. These halos formed long before galaxies brightened, collapsing under their own gravity into massive structures that shaped everything that followed. Light curves slightly as it crosses these unseen wells, bending in arcs too delicate to measure without patient observation. The curve becomes another small memory, etched into its path. It's okay to drift. As it leaves the early universe behind, the photon enters a broad region where the first galaxy clusters began to collide. Though now ancient, their interactions set in motion waves of hot plasma still cooling after 12 billion years. That plasma emits faint X-rays barely visible unless captured by sensitive instruments. The photon senses the warmth of this distant afterglow passing through the residual heat that once marked the universe's fiery youth. It's okay to drift. A quote hums faintly in the dark, suspended like dust in low light. The universe grew brighter, not because it hurried, but because it learned to breathe. The photon moves on. It now crosses a region where streams of hydrogen once flowed into forming galaxies. These rivers of gas were the lifeblood of cosmic dawn, feeding newborn clusters with the fuel for star formation. Some of these streams stretched for hundreds of thousands of light years, as thin and elegant as threads drawn across the void. The photon drifts along the ghost of one such thread, following its faint gravitational contours. It's okay to drift. Small dwarf galaxies populate the space ahead, fragile, irregular shapes, filled with young stars burning in soft blues. They formed early, before the universe grew complex, and many remain unchanged since those primitive times. Their light is thin, but pure, drifting outward like scattered seeds, carried on invisible currents. The photon glides past their halos, gathering soft shifts in density as it moves through their outskirts. It's okay to drift. As it continues, the universe feels different, older in structure, smoother in rhythm, quieter in tone. Large galaxies now dominate the distant horizon, their shapes clearer, more defined. Spiral arms begin to unfurl gracefully, shining across millions of light years. These spirals rotate slowly, some taking 500 million years to turn once. The photon brushes their farthest halos, passing through clouds of cold hydrogen, waiting for future stars. It's okay to drift. Magnetic fields wind through these halos like faint twisting rivers. They are subtle, invisible, but they guide charged particles across long distances, creating soft structures in the surrounding gas. The photon does not feel the fields directly, yet they shape the environment it travels through, creating delicate patterns in the darkness. These patterns form soft gradients in temperature and density, barely measurable but real. It's okay to drift. The deep quiet of this era settles over everything. Galaxies brighten slowly. Stars form in calm spirals. Gas cools. Dust gathers. The universe steps gently away from its turbulent youth and into a long, steady rhythm that will last for billions of years. The photon moves through this stillness like a slow breath passing through a resting body. It's okay to drift. A reflective whisper glides through the silence. In the quiet between stars, you are remembered. The photon crosses the faint border where early cosmic structures give way to the more familiar universe. The universe shaped by long-lived stars, steady galactic rotation, and the slow, patient settling of matter across eons. This transition is not sharp. It feels like walking from one room into another where the air is slightly warmer, slightly calmer, slightly more familiar. Light continues, as though nothing has changed, yet everything has. It's okay to drift. Now, the path ahead brightens with the glow of galaxies formed long after cosmic dawn. Their light is different, not ancient fire, but mature radiance. Stars of all ages mix within them, creating a spectrum rich with elements, forged by many generations of stellar life. The photon senses these subtle shifts: more metals in the starlight, more varied colors, more complexity in the darkness. It moves onward, steady as time. It's okay to drift. And as it leaves the age of cosmic dawn behind the universe, welcomes it into the long age of galaxies, an era filled with slow rotation, gentle collisions, and the soft glow of star after star shining across the deep, holding steady in the vast rhythm of creation. The photon drifts with them, carrying its ancient memory forward toward the long brightness of the modern night. It's okay to drift. The photon enters a region where galaxies have reached their long, steady bloom. The universe here feels spacious and calm, shaped by billions of years of slow rotation and gentle collisions. Light drifts through these vast structures like breath moving through a resting body, steady and sure. It's okay to drift. Spiral galaxies sweep outward in wide, graceful arms, each one glowing with the warm light of countless stars. These arms are not rigid. They are patterns, density waves, where gas gathers and new stars form. A typical spiral arm may stretch tens of thousands of light years, slowly turning through the cosmic dark. The photon glides past the faint outer haze of one such galaxy, brushing the cool edge of its halo. It's okay to drift. The halo surrounds the galaxy like a luminous fog filled with ancient stars and diffuse clouds of dark matter. These stars drift slowly, orbiting on paths shaped not by the visible galaxy alone, but by the immense invisible mass around them. Dark matter holds the structure together, keeping the arms from unwinding. Its presence bends space-time, gently creating soft curves that shape the photon's route. It's okay to drift. Within this galaxy, gas collects in bright knots where star formation thrives. Massive blue stars shine fiercely for only a few million years, pouring ultraviolet light into the surrounding gas. Their radiation sculpts glowing nebulae, pink, violet, blue, like soft lanterns floating between the arms. The ultraviolet glow shifts as it passes through dust, emerging as warm infrared light that blankets the galaxy. The photon senses the warmth of this far-off radiance, though it remains unchanged. It's okay to drift. A small truth drifts beside it. In galaxies like these, stars are born at a rate of a few solar masses each year, a slow, steady rhythm that lasts for billions of years. Most stars live quiet lives, shining gently woven into the spiral's long rotation. The photon passes through the faint outskirts of one such star-forming region, gathering subtle traces of its density. It's okay to drift. Momentum carries it onward toward a cluster of galaxies bound together by gravity. Clusters like this are some of the largest structures in the universe, spanning millions of light years, filled with galaxies of every shape and age. Between them lies hot plasma, heated to extreme temperatures, tens of millions of degrees, glowing softly in X-rays. Though invisible to human eyes, the X-ray hum fills the space between galaxies like a quiet, distant wind. The photon moves through this warm, thin sea undisturbed. It's okay to drift. In the center of the cluster, a giant elliptical galaxy rests like a massive ember. These galaxies contain trillions of stars, their light blended into a smooth golden glow. Unlike spirals, they hold no arms, only a soft sphere of ancient redder stars burning slowly through their long lives. The photon brushes the edge of this glow, slipping between old suns that have drifted together over ages. It's okay to drift. A poetic echo rises through the dark galaxies, breathe in centuries, but shine in moments. The photon continues. Around the cluster, faint gravitational tides stretch between galaxies. These tides pull stars into long, delicate streams, pale arcs, extending hundreds of thousands of light years across space. Such streams record the slow ballet of galaxies passing one another, tugging at their outer layers. The photon drifts parallel to one of these streams, letting its soft curvature shape the next part of its journey. It's okay to drift. Far beyond dwarf galaxies orbit the cluster like small lanterns circling a distant fire. These dwarfs are fragile, some containing only a few million stars, some dim enough to fade into the background, unless viewed with deep exposure. Yet they matter profoundly. Their gas and stars are slowly absorbed, feeding larger galaxies, shaping the cluster's slow evolution. The photon glides past one such dwarf, feeling the faint pull of its small halo. It's okay to drift. Massive black holes lie hidden in the centers of many galaxies here. Though invisible, they influence everything: stars, orbits, gas flows, jets of high-energy particles stretching thousands of light years. When photons pass near these jets, they encounter shock waves that ripple through space. Our photon crosses such a region now, drifting through a soft echo of turbulence long cooled. It's okay to drift. A reflective whisper moves gently through the dark. In the quiet between stars, you are remembered. The photon continues into a region where galactic filaments intersect a crossroads of immense structures shaped by gravity and time. Here, the density rises slightly enough to create faint scattering of starlight across the void. Colors blur into one another: gold from old stars, blue from young clusters, red from distant galaxies stretched by expansion. The photon weaves through this blended glow like a thread drawn through layered silk. It's okay to drift. Farther ahead, a wide corridor opens a gentle path through which galaxies move over billions of years. Into this corridor, the photon flows, still carrying memories of cosmic dawn, still holding the soft imprint of every region it has crossed. Its journey is long, unbroken, patient. It's okay to drift. The corridor of galaxies narrows into a gentle funnel of darkness, guiding the photon through one of the universe's quiet mid-regions. Here, everything moves softly, galaxies drifting on slow tides, clusters pulling on one another with patient gravity, and starlight weaving between them in delicate, unbroken lines. You are safe here. Massive black holes lie hidden in the centers of many galaxies here. Though invisible, they influence everything: stars, orbits, gas flows, jets of high-energy particles stretching thousands of light years. When photons pass near these jets, they encounter shock waves that ripple through space. Our photon crosses such a region now, drifting through a soft echo of turbulence long cooled. It's okay to drift. Around the filament, galaxies form clusters and groups, each with its own rhythm. Spiral galaxies rotate like slow whirlpools. Ellipticals glow with the combined breath of ancient stars. Irregular galaxies shimmer with uneven patches of starlight shaped by collisions long past. The photon slips past them, all unhurried. You are safe here. Far ahead lies a vast supercluster, a grand congregation of millions of galaxies extending across unimaginable distance. Gravity flows through it in slow waves, controlling the motion of entire galactic families. The photon drifts toward this quiet monument of structure, feeling the soft swell of space-time bending around it. You are safe here. The photon passes beneath the faint arch of a cosmic filament, a strand of matter stretching for hundreds of millions of light years. These strands form the spine of the universe, subtle but immense, shaped by the pressure of dark matter over billions of years. Gas flows gently along them, feeding galaxies with the raw material for stars. As the photon glides through the filament's edge, its path feels guided, not pushed, as though space-time itself offers a soft hand. You are safe here. As it enters the outskirts of the supercluster, the density increases just enough to create a faint fog of scattered radiation. This fog is not bright. It is a hushed glow from countless distant stars blending into one another, forming a diffuse light known as intracluster luminosity. These are stars that have slipped free from their galaxies, drifting alone through the cluster's wide interior. The photon moves through their glow, like a breeze moving through warm dust. You are safe here. Jets rise from the galaxy's center pillars of energetic particles launched by a supermassive black hole. These jets once roared across tens of thousands of light years, but the region the photon crosses now is quiet. The shock waves have cooled. The turbulence has fallen into softness. Only a thin remnant hum, low and steady, remains in the fabric of space. You are safe here. A delicate truth slips across the stillness. The light of mature galaxies carries the fingerprints of every generation of stars, metal-rich, warm, layered in memory. The photon glides forward. When the universe was about 1 billion years old, star formations surged, galaxies brightened, gas flowed into their centers, fueling massive bursts of stellar birth. Light poured outward into the expanding, dark-filling space. With the first steady glow, the photon senses the long echo of these events, tiny changes in density and temperature woven into its path. It's okay to drift. Once more, the dark becomes smooth, almost velvety. Only thin clouds of warm gas remain drifting far apart. Each cloud glows faintly in ultraviolet, the signature of stars whose light has traveled immense distances. The photon crosses their dim borders, gathering small, spectral dips, a quiet record of hydrogen, helium, and trace elements carried across galaxies. You are safe here. A reflective whisper rises soft as a pulse. In the quiet between stars, you are remembered. The photon continues into a zone where gravity forms gentle valleys in spacetime, subtle dips shaped by clusters too distant to see. These valleys do not trap the photon. They guide it like invisible streams, curving its path across tens of millions of light years. The shift is graceful, smooth, as the turning of a sleeping body. You are safe here. Beyond those valleys lies a thin channel between filaments, a path through which very little matter moves. Because the density is low, starlight travels here with unusual clarity. No dust, no gas, no clusters, only the faint hum of the universe and the steady drift of ancient photons moving side by side. It's a corridor of pure calm. You are safe here. The beam flows into this corridor effortlessly, its wavelength stretched just a little farther, its memory layered with the impressions of countless regions crossed. Ahead, the next age of the universe begins to whisper, and light continues, unbroken, cradled by the silence it moves through, carrying its gentle history toward horizons still far away. You are safe here. It drifts into a region where time feels stretched thin, where distances widen into a gentle quiet very few photons ever cross intact. The light here is old, so old that its memory reaches back across billions of years, past the rise of galaxies, past the cooling of clusters, to the early breath of the universe itself. You are safe here. In this late stage of its journey, the photon glides through space-time that has expanded beneath it for eons. Each passing moment draws its wavelength slightly longer, a soft redshift written into its body like a slow heartbeat. Expansion does not break the photon. It carries the stretch effortlessly, as though adapting to the universe's patient breath. You are safe here. The silence deepens. Matter becomes sparse, drifting in faint halos around distant clusters. Between these halos, the photon travels unimpeded for hundreds of millions of light years, touching nothing, striking nothing, losing nothing. Like a falling feather, suspended in perfect stillness, it continues, without needing direction or force. You are safe here. Ahead lies a faint glow, not bright, not sharp, but wide and soft. The combined shine of galaxies smeared by unimaginable distance. This glow forms what astronomers call the cosmic optical background, a diffuse, ancient light made of everything too faint to see individually. The photon enters this glow like a swimmer entering warm, shallow water. You are safe here. Even within this faint radiance, subtle patterns emerge. Some regions carry the imprint of starburst galaxies, places where stars formed rapidly injecting ultraviolet waves into the dark. Others shimmer with infrared warmth from dust heated by long-lived suns. The photon senses these layers as gentle gradients, thin textures in the darkness. You are safe here. A soft, scientific truth unfolds. The universe today produces far less starlight than it once did. The cosmic star formation rate peaked about 10 billion years ago and has declined since. Galaxies have grown quieter, older, calmer. Much of their glow now comes from slow-burning stars, steady embers, instead of roaring fires. The photon drifts through the residue of that ancient brightness. You are safe here. As it continues, the path narrows between two distant galaxy groups. Their gravitational fields stretch faintly into the void, creating long, soft channels through which light naturally flows. This bending is gentle, a curve, so slow it resembles a body turning in sleep. The photon follows the arc, amending its course without resistance. You are safe here. The region between the groups contains warm plasma gas, heated by past collisions drifting thinly in filaments. Though hot, the gas is sparse, fewer than a single atom per cubic meter. The photon moves through it, unharmed, only gathering a tiny, delicate imprint in its spectrum, a whisper of the elements that reside there. You are safe here. A reflective line rises like a pulse from deep memory. In the quiet between stars, you are remembered. The photon continues. Now, the universe opens into a deep, wide void. Distances stretch to extremes. Galaxies recede into tiny sparks, scattered across a velvet black horizon. In this place, the photon feels almost alone, but not lost. The void welcomes it with the softest embrace. Its darkness, gentle, its stillness, absolute. You are safe here. In the heart of the void, nothing interrupts its path. No dust, no gas, no magnetic field strong enough to tug. Only a smooth, cool expanse and the low hum of the cosmic background. The photon's wavelength lengthens once more, a slow sigh of light carried forward by the breath of space-time. You are safe here. The edges of the void rise in faint gradients. Galaxies form a distant wall, their combined glow like embers pressed against the fabric of night. These are ancient galaxies, some formed shortly after cosmic dawn, now aged into stable, quiet spirals and dim ellipticals. Their light spills softly across the void, meeting the photon in a gentle convergence. You are safe here. Between those galaxies lie long tidal streams, ribbons of stars torn from their homes by slow gravitational dances. These streams shimmer faintly, barely visible, stretching for hundreds of thousands of light years. The photon slips through the faint edges of one such ribbon, carrying a slight modulation in brightness from the stars it passes. You are safe here. Now, the universe around it begins to brighten again, not sharply, but in a rising hush, as though light is gathering itself for the next stage of the journey. This brightness is not near, but it is certain, and the photon moves toward it, ancient and unwavering, carrying the memory of everything it has ever crossed. You are safe here. It drifts into a region where time feels stretched thin, where distances widen into a gentle, quiet, very few photons ever cross intact. The light here is old, so old that its memory reaches back across billions of years, past the rise of galaxies, past the cooling of clusters, to the early breath of the universe itself. You are safe here. In this late stage of its journey, the photon glides through space-time that has expanded beneath it for eons. Each passing moment draws its wavelength slightly longer, a soft redshift written into its body like a slow heartbeat. Expansion does not break the photon. It carries the stretch effortlessly, as though adapting to the universe's patient breath. You are safe here. The silence deepens. Matter becomes sparse, drifting in faint halos around distant clusters. Between these halos, the photon travels unimpeded for hundreds of millions of light years, touching nothing, striking nothing, losing nothing. Like a falling feather suspended in perfect stillness, it continues without needing direction or force. You are safe here. Ahead lies a faint glow, not bright, not sharp, but wide and soft, the combined shine of galaxies smeared by unimaginable distance. This glow forms what astronomers call the cosmic optical background, a diffuse, ancient light made of everything too faint to see individually. The photon enters this glow like a swimmer entering warm, shallow water. You are safe here. Even within this faint radiance, subtle patterns emerge. Some regions carry the imprint of starburst galaxies, places where stars formed rapidly, injecting ultraviolet waves into the dark. Others shimmer with infrared warmth from dust heated by long-lived suns. The photon senses these layers as gentle gradients, thin textures in the darkness. You are safe here. A soft scientific truth unfolds. The universe today produces far less starlight than it once did. The cosmic star formation rate peaked about 10 billion years ago and has declined since. Galaxies have grown quieter, older, calmer. Much of their glow now comes from slow-burning stars, steady embers, instead of roaring fires. The photon drifts through the residue of that ancient brightness. You are safe here. As it continues, the path narrows between two distant galaxy groups. Their gravitational fields stretch faintly into the void, creating long, soft channels through which light naturally flows. This bending is gentle, a curve so slow it resembles a body turning in sleep. The photon follows the arc, amending its course without resistance. You are safe here. The region between the groups contains warm plasma gas, heated by past collisions, drifting thinly in filaments. Though hot, the gas is sparse, fewer than a single atom per cubic meter. The photon moves through it, unharmed, only gathering a tiny, delicate imprint in its spectrum, a whisper of the elements that reside there. You are safe here. A reflective line rises like a pulse from deep memory. In the quiet between stars, you are remembered. The photon continues. Now the universe opens into a deep, wide void. Distances stretch to extremes. Galaxies recede into tiny sparks scattered across a velvet black horizon. In this place, the photon feels almost alone but not lost. The void welcomes it with the softest embrace, its darkness gentle, its stillness absolute. You are safe here. In the heart of the void, nothing interrupts its path. No dust, no gas, no magnetic fields strong enough to tug, only a smooth, cool expanse and the low hum of the cosmic background. The photon's wavelength lengthens once more, a slow sigh of light carried forward by the breath of spacetime. You are safe here. The edges of the void rise in faint gradients. Galaxies form a distant wall, their combined glow like embers pressed against the fabric of night. These are ancient galaxies, some formed shortly after cosmic dawn, now aged into stable, quiet spirals and dim ellipticals. Their light spills softly across the void, meeting the photon in a gentle convergence. You are safe here. Between those galaxies lie long tidal streams, ribbons of stars torn from their homes by slow gravitational dances. These streams shimmer faintly, barely visible, stretching for hundreds of thousands of light years. The photon slips through the faint edges of one such ribbon, carrying a slight modulation in brightness from the stars it passes. You are safe here. Now the universe around it begins to brighten again, not sharply, but in a rising hush, as though light is gathering itself for the next stage of the journey. This brightness is not near, but it is certain, and the photon moves toward it, ancient and unwavering, carrying the memory of everything it has ever crossed. You are safe here. The photon enters a region where the darkness feels almost physical, a soft weight around its path, as though space itself has slowed its breathing. This is the deep frontier of the modern universe, where light becomes a traveler moving through time as much as distance. You are safe here. Expansion stretches the fabric beneath it in gentle, steady pulses. The photon yields easily, its wavelength lengthening like a low note held across a quiet room. This gradual shift is not decay, but a soft echo of the universe's widening horizon, a reminder that all things flow outward, spread gently, settle slowly. You are safe here. The void behind it falls fully into silence. Ahead lies a faint scattering of galaxies, each separated by millions of light years, each glowing with tired, ancient fire. Their light is redder now, softer, aged by the long journey through expanding space. The photon senses the warmth of their collective radiance, a distant welcome rising from the edge of the dark. You are safe here. It drifts past a lone, intergalactic star, a wanderer torn from its home during a distant collision. Such stars travel the universe alone, for billions of years, shining quietly, their small gravity touching nothing. The photon glides past the star's thin halo, barely noticing the faint gravitational curve it leaves in space. You are safe here. Farther ahead, long streams of intracluster light form pale bridges between galaxies. These bridges are made of stars and dust, stripped away during slow encounters, spreading across space like soft trails left behind by drifting lanterns. The photon passes gently through one of these faint corridors, the glow brushing its path, like a cool hand guiding it forward. You are safe here. A scientific whisper moves through the calm. Light from the far universe can stretch so much that it slips from visible wavelengths, entirely drifting into infrared and beyond. The photon carries this shift without effort, a quiet adaptation to the long rhythm of cosmic expansion. You are safe here. Now, a gravitational valley rises ahead, a subtle dip in space-time, carved by a massive cluster too distant to see. The photon does not fall. It glides its path curving, as though carried by a gentle tide. The curve is slow-rounded, a kinesthetic ease, like rolling into a softer part of the bed. You are safe here. And beyond the valley lies a faint glow, a sheet of distant galaxies forming what astronomers call a cosmic wall, one of the universe's largest structures. These walls stretch for hundreds of millions of light years, immense yet unimaginably quiet. The photon approaches the nearest edge its body touched by the collective shimmer of billions of dimming suns. You are safe here. As it drifts deeper into the wall's soft light, the glow rises, not bright, but full of presence. Some galaxies here are spirals, still forming stars. Others are ellipticals, nearing the end of their luminous lives. Their light blends into a smooth, warm texture, a field of gentle radiance the photon moves through like drifting fog. You are safe here. A reflective pulse surfaces barely audible. In the quiet between stars, you are remembered. The photon continues. Toward the far side of the cosmic wall clusters, loosened galaxies drift apart, and the glow begins to thin. The universe becomes transparent again, clear and open a wide channel leading toward a distant future. The photon flows into this openness, its journey almost entirely free of obstacles now. You are safe here. Space ahead becomes smoother than before, with density falling to the lowest levels in all of cosmic structure. This is the outskirts of the cosmic web, a region where galaxies exist like faint smudges against black velvet. Their halos overlap slightly, forming slow, shifting gradients of gravity. The photon moves through these gradients as though sliding down a long, gentle slope. You are safe here. The slope flattens. The horizon softens. The photon enters a calm expanse where nothing disturbs its path, a corridor of pure stillness stretching across tens of millions of light years. Here, the universe feels almost asleep, resting in its own cold breath. You are safe here. The photon's wavelength stretches one more time, a long exhale across the deep dark. The universe holds it, and the silence around it settles into a slow, steady hum. Light continues forward, its memory intact, its purpose unchanged, its journey guided by the soft architecture of space-time. You are safe here. And far ahead at the edge of this quiet region, a pale shimmer rises, the beginning of the next field of galaxies, the next gentle horizon waiting to receive the light that has traveled longer than worlds have existed. The photon moves toward it as soft as breath, as patient as time. You are safe here.